Hey everyone. So guess what happens when you send most of the people in America a check for $1,400? Yep, they spend it. The retail sales numbers for March just came in, and needless to say, retail sales are way up. Core retail sales climbed 8% in the last month, jumping by $33 billion. Core retail is up 38% from the trough in April last year and up an amazing 15% from the prior peak last year in February. Needless to say, this kind of liquidity and consumption is unprecedented. But so are the economic risks of the pandemic that this liquidity is battling. April retail sales will likely also be strong. Then we may see some of the gains burn off as the stimulus checks are used up. But there is one other factor in play. Many states are now reopening. As restaurants, bars, entertainment venues, retailers, and other socially engaging businesses reopen, people finally have the option to spend money again. The perfect example of this is comparing grocery store sales to restaurant sales. Back in 2015, for the first time ever, more money was spent in dining establishments than at the grocery store. The gap widened each year, and at the beginning of 2020, restaurant spending was about 14% higher than grocery sales. Then COVID hit. Grocery sales spiked and restaurants all but shut down. Grocery sales in March 2020 were the best ever. And by April, restaurant sales were less than half what they were just 2 months prior. In April, grocery sales were more than double restaurant sales. Since then, things have stabilized a bit. The restaurant industry adapted with takeout dining, but many restrictions on eating at a restaurant still curtailed sales. But now, many states have already fully reopened restaurants, so there is a major recovery taking place. Last month, restaurant sales were just 2% below groceries, and I suspect that when the April numbers come out, we could see a reinversion. So why is this important to real estate investors? First, there's the obvious. The recovery of retail sales and restaurant sales are critical for retail real estate. A lot of retail center owners worked with hard-hit tenants to make it through a very tough situation, and it looks like we're almost back in the clear. Reopening will also breathe new life into lifestyle centers and other entertainment-heavy retail venues. Second, increased consumption will support industrial space demand as retailers once again refill inventories. Third, and probably most importantly, the reopening and the recovery of retail sales will be a spark that helps the economy recover jobs. Even though 14 million jobs have been recovered since the onset of the pandemic, we are still 8.4 million jobs below where we were before the pandemic. Hospitality jobs, which includes restaurant workers, was the hardest hit employment sector. And as of March, employment in this sector was still down by 19% compared to before the health crisis. Hospitality employment is still 3.1 million jobs below where we were. That's about 37% of the total 8.4 million jobs yet to be recovered. As rehiring in service businesses gathers momentum, people will get back on their feet. Many households will once again debundle, and that will boost household formation, in turn bolstering apartment housing demand. So all those stimulus checks that went out last month are making their way through the economy, and that will be good for all commercial real estate. I've focused on the immediate cause and effect of the retail surge, and yes, just like the vaccinations we're all getting, there will likely be some side effects. But ultimately, this retail surge will drive long-term growth. Just keep your eyes on the horizon.